We talking so much crap. Y'all missed it. Before the cameras even went on, we talked about Biggie lookalikes.
Biggie imposters.
Maybe while you and Big had a little breakup and trying to get at Faith, thinking they had a chance. Right. That was fun.
That was very fun.
Some guys calling themselves Biggie, popping bottles. Like, come on, there's only one Biggie. Stop it. Right. We talked about me hating Coogee sweaters. I couldn't stand Coogee sweaters when they first came out. I don't care what nobody says. But they end up being a big deal because Big used to wear them Coogee sweaters. You used to wear Coogee too, didn't you?
I did. I actually, in the beginning, I bought Big most of them Coogees.
Woo! It's her fault.
I did.
It's Faith's fault, y'all.
I did. I used to bring him to him all the time when I come out of town to see him.
That's what's up, man. Well, thanks for being here. You know, we here live. I don't know who's watching, who's checking us out, but we're going to go to questions later on. And let's answer. Let's talk to the people. Let's reminisce and let's talk about, 20 years of B.I.G. And then on the nice note, we got a new project, a new album coming out.
Yeah, The King and I. The King and I. And it's...
That was an easy title? That was easy?
It was actually very easy. As soon as my attorney reminded me of the idea I had to do something like it, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go take a meeting. I got the title. It could be called The King and I.
Damn.
And I just said it, and I'm like, that's really actually dope.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that right there. All right, so Faye, man, come on. We got an incredible documentary that you put together.
Well, Miss Wallace, yes. Okay. Miss Wallace and myself in conjunction with A&E Films.
See how perfect she is? I just tossed it to her. She's like, no, we gotta make sure we shout out Miss Wallace and
A&E Films.
Yeah, 100%. So talk to me about this documentary. What is this all about? What's different about this documentary that maybe other documentaries don't have? Like, what's the angle on this one?
Well, so much has been obviously talked about and, documented and re-documented and depicted about the sensationalized things, his death, the so-called non-existent beef and all of those things. They approached us about just a different take on showing the person that he was behind the stuff we up here talking about, that type of stuff, stuff that people don't always get to hear. Why we, he just was such a dope person, funny, all of that. You couldn't help but love him. You wanted to be around him. And, we thought it would be great for people to hear some of those things, from people like you and all the family.
Yeah, Faith said I could be in it, so I was happy. How'd you fall in love with Big? Do you tell that story often?
I do. I mean, people ask me that. Well, we met at a photo shoot with him, Puff.
That I think I remember.
Right. I had Hurricane G with me.
Oh wow, Gloria.
Remember Gloria?
Wow,
Redman is
Long Island.
Redman is my fam. So his sisters, one of my best friends, had to drop my daughter off to keep China while I had to go to this photo shoot.
Right.
Gloria was at Red's house. She rode with me. I'm like, I'll take you back. I'll take you, to wherever you got to go after my photo shoot.
Right.
Mind you, Big didn't even know me. He didn't know I was signed to the label. He said he used to see me coming in and out the studio, but he thought I was a session singer or whatever. And when we had a break in the shoot, I'm sure he probably was like, "What? How does she know her?" Because Gloria was popular at the time, So I guess he talked to her, and she told him I'm taking him back to Brooklyn, taking her back to Brooklyn. So he asked me, like, yo, can I get a lift? He had the mafia with him, of course. And what happened was I had some pictures I had gotten developed. You used to have to drop them off, write your phone number, da-da-da.
Yeah.
So Big was talking to me, making small talk while we were on lunch break or something.
No. What's the small talk?
He was like, we
want to know the small talk.
He's probably over my shoulder looking at my picture like, that's your daughter?
Okay.
Oh, I got a daughter too. Oh yeah, how old is she? That type of stuff.
Okay.
And not so much coming on to me. I don't recall it being like that. I mean, just talking.
Right.
But not super extra flirty. But then he asked me, could I take them back to Brooklyn? I said, yeah, okay. And when I dropped him off finally, of course the whole ride was nothing but jokes.
Right.
We know that. But when I finally dropped him off, he was like, I'm gonna call you. And I was like, all right, but I never gave him my number, you know what I mean? So the next day he called me and, we talked and I'm like, how'd you get my number? He's like, I took it off of your picture envelope.
Ah.
Yeah. And first of all, that was cute. But I mean, the falling in love thing was just after that and we just we both have a
because
crazy sense of humor.
It happened very quick.
Yeah, we were married in about 2 months, a little under 2 months after we met.
Quick.
It's very quick. But it's not 6 or 9 days like people tend to 100%. Always say. It was more like 46 or
That's amazing.
49 days.
No, but that's amazing. I mean, to this day, I still feel that's amazing. What did you see in him besides was it just the humor? Was it just
he was so
charm?
charming, and he was just made you feel, he made me feel special. He really did. He made me feel special. And although at first I'm like, what? You want to marry? He kept saying, I'm gonna marry you. And I had a good friend that had just gotten married at the courthouse upstate where we went.
Right.
And he used to come by and check on me from Jersey, so Big knew who he was. But I was tripping when he kept on saying, yo, ask your homeboy. And I'm like, how he remember that? So he must really be serious. And he had me find out the information about where we had to go. And I was like, all right, let's go. And we went. We took Man. He wanted to take C's. I said, all we need is a witness. He's like, let's take C's. Man. I'm like, C's ain't even 18. So, we took Man.
We took Man, okay.
We went upstate and got married.
That's so crazy. Look at that. See how long I know? I didn't even know that story. I know parts of it, but that's nice that you shared that. Big always made people feel good. We used to be in the airports going from city to city, show to show, and look, I'm a fat dude. I'm 280 pounds or 70 pounds, whatever it is, and sometimes us big people have insecurities, and I remember him seeing some really really big girls in the airport, and he would make them feel good, and I'm gonna tell you why. He'd be like, come over here, healthy ting. So I'd be like, what? He'd be like, and because girls be like, oh, it's Biggie, and what I embraced, what I loved about that story was, it wasn't the model chick, it wasn't the hot chick, it was the healthy girl that maybe needed a little bit of some attention, a little bit of love, and I thought that was a beautiful gesture on behalf of our boy, So we're talking about beautiful stories. I think that was nice of him to do that. Yeah, and
there's so many of them. We were just saying earlier how you constantly telling me stuff I didn't know, because
the best is the tour bus. I don't care what nobody says. That's the best. We talking about it earlier. When her and Big, they was probably going through some stuff, and Big B. He'd be listening to Faith's album on repeat, and you're on the road 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 hours, and no disrespect, I love me some Faith, but hearing Faith 12 hours in a row gets a little crazy, but nobody ever told you that?
I feel like last year one of them mentioned it to me, and I think C said, ask Enuff. Yeah. C's probably said, ask Enuff, but I never did ask you.
Yeah, I think that's funny stuff, man, right there. It is funny stuff right there to witness, man. So, okay, documentary, King and I. What's happening with your personal life? Like, what are you doing now? Like, are you married? Are you...
I'm single.
You're single?
I am very single.
Wow.
Just me.
So what happens now?
I keep living.
Are you in search of?
No, never. I'm never searching.
Or you just cool and it'll come?
I truly feel like, if something that God has for me out there, it'll end up finding its way in my cipher,
Who is Faith's kind of guy? What kind of guy would you say you like?
Someone with a great sense of humor, someone that loves God, someone that loves their mother.
That's right. That's important.
Someone that has a certain hustle and grind, and hopefully, has their own, I can't really say, has to be a certain level of success, but, has their own thing going.
I think you need a certain level of success. Just a little bit.
I mean, but I mean, I don't want to, it's hard for me to say, they have to be in a certain tax bracket or whatever like that. You know what I mean?
That would be disrespectful. We don't want that. No, I get that.
But, I mean, I'm pretty simple. But, I mean, I'm very old-fashioned and into old-fashioned things. I'm not one that's into the new style things do in relationships. So they have to be old school like me. I like it, just me and you, baby.
I got you. All right, so talk to me about the 10 what?
Wife commandments.
What is that? The 10 wife... Do you see what's happening here? just the other day was Women's International Day, and everybody was wearing red. And okay, so is that have anything to do with it, or just talk to me, Faye? What is this about?
When I finally started to pursue the deal with doing this album, I was like, there's one or two songs of his that I think I always knew if I got the chance to that I would mess with. And it was 10 Crack Commandments. And I said, I want to make it the 10 Wife Commandments, not quite knowing what they would be. And Me and My B. So I have those two are actually the closest two songs that embody the originals on the album. So, but I used Big's saying the numbers and I filled it in with the commandments. So,
so are you singing and rapping?
I'm singing.
Oh,
I'm singing the commandments.
That's awesome. You don't got no acapella? You give me can you give like one commandment? Can you give us like one commandment?
Okay, I can give you this. Okay, number one, never let no chick know what you and your man do in the bedroom. But that's obviously not me really singing it,
right.
But
Okay, all right.
Maybe number 8, gotta keep your head game straight.
Hey! That's important. That's very important. Listen, I know. Faith Evans, baby, is here. Biggie, 20 years, man. Look at our guy, man. Look at our guy. The one thing that I always told people it's so fortunate is that not enough footage, not enough not enough stuff with our guy smiling and laughing.
That's out there. There is some.
But who has that?
And actually, I think we've actually acquired some of it for this documentary.
Oh, that's incredible.
I mean, I hopefully it's what we need.
Right.
I haven't seen a rough cut of it yet.
Right.
But I did see some of the footage that they. Oh, I'm sorry. I did see some of the footage they got. I didn't,
right.
See what they've acquired since then.
Okay.
So there is some
laughing,
smiling. I don't know if you've ever seen. There's a meme of me and him in the studio, and I'm sitting on his lap, and he's bouncing me, and he's doing all this at the back of the camera, and I'm
that.
like talking, talking to him.
You see?
We got some of those moments.
Well, that's important. I like that because prior to that, if I remember, I think maybe he smiled and hypnotized one time. Remember that big beautiful smile he had and hypnotized? Yeah, I love that right there. Well, we here. Is it question time? Where's my questions? Where's do we got them here? Let's see. Okay, Instagram. wardyxo. What did you love most about Biggie?
Oh wow, his ability to make you not stay mad at him, or just his ability to make you want to be around him. Period. Whether you were mad at him or not, really.
So would he do a little dance? Would he sing to you? Would he
some
rap?
of that. I used to always clown his ability to actually sing. I'm like, you can sing, so stop playing. And even like how he used to beatbox, because I could kind of beatbox. So he used to do that to clown me, like, bling, bling, bling. Come on, Faye, don't be mad. He really did. That actually happened,
I like that. There's a small little clip on somebody's thing where he's singing Jodeci.
That was C's.
Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so hard. Crazy. He killed that. But maybe he would have fun doing that.
Yeah.
It's a record they don't play a lot? Play a Hater. Why not? Is it because it's comical, or because I think that's an incredible record?
I don't know why. I've heard it very sporadically. I've heard people play it in mixes.
But I love that song.
I do too, and I think that's. I was just going to mention that one in reference to him actually singing, even though he was clowning. But in some moments, you can kind of tell he had a nice voice. You know what I mean?
No, he did.
I mean, for most of it to me, but I knew he was trying to clown because he didn't really want people to know he could sing.
When he was in the studio recording that, I was there one time and he was performing it. Or recording it, or with it playing the back. So he was singing it, and I was like, "Are you talking to me?" Because I thought he was being a clown. I didn't think it was going to be on the album. And I was like, "Is he playing me?" Because everybody was laughing. It was like a big joke in the room.
There you go again. That's another thing about him, right?
And I'm like, so I didn't know what was going on. But then I was like, okay, he's not talking about me. That's everybody, having a good time or whatever. All right, another question. Instagram, V Sarah TU. What do you think Big would be like now if he was still alive?
I think he would still be the same Big we love and know. Actually, just obviously more mature, more successful, more business savvy.
Right.
You know, because I know for a fact I was probably a little further along in that thinking.
Right.
Or not even in that thinking, but he was, obviously thinking about his business, but he was more prioritizing it in order of getting money. You know, we know him. He wanted to get out the hood.
Were you guys in conversation? Okay, we're only taking questions from the fans on the screen. No Facebook right now. All right, just so you guys are clear.
Okay.
So what was the conversation like when, let's give us some of the pillow talk where you guys like, well, Big, you're going to open up this restaurant and I'm going to work on this. And what kind of conversations business-wise were you guys talking about?
We didn't have that many.
No?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
It's like, and he had his own relationship with Puff. I had a whole totally different one. It was...
And Puff was,
and it was just kind of naturally how it was already moving
for both of you guys, right? At that time in your careers, when he was the guy, you guys signed to. He was the person, or no?
He signed me. He was the first person that signed me.
Right.
But Big was already signed with Puff when he was at Uptown, remember?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, so, obviously they had a few more years in terms of their relationship.
Everybody always says, what if, right? What if I remember as a child, what if was a line of comic books, and it was always like, what if Spider-Man fought the Incredible Hulk? What if, Doctor Strange got into it with the Avengers? So a lot of people always say, what if he was still around? Would Jay be as relevant? Would Jay be as powerful? Would him and Jay be partners? Not just Jay, but a lot of people, Big had a lot of influence. Do you think there's something that, what if you had to create your own Biggie comic? What is there any what ifs that you could think of that might have happened? Like, this could have happened if he was still alive.
Oh wow,
it's a good question, right?
That's a great thing to think
about. Me off because I'm even thinking like, how would I answer that question? Because I know specifically, I remember him saying he wanted to open a big and tall clothing line. And that was important because he was a big guy.
Well, that was the whole thought behind Brooklyn Mint. Although it just it didn't get that far. Obviously, the T-shirt thing, but that was certainly his bigger plan for Brooklyn Mint.
Right. Okay. And then we talked about food spots and restaurants and that kind of stuff. But those were just ideas, when you hear people talk and but I don't know. I just thought.
You know what? You just made me remember something. We definitely, one time or another, he mentioned like he told me we gonna open up a restaurant because he used to always make me cook for him. So he liked my cooking and he's like, we gonna open up a restaurant.
Exactly.
He did say that before.
Exactly. All right, more questions. What we got going on over here? Let's see what they got. Instagram, joeearlharris. What is your favorite hook you ever did? Your hook.
I don't know if they mean on a Faith Evans record in general, but
just say you your hook.
Wow, dang.
That's a good question.
Hook. Just off the top of my head, I'm gonna say, You Gets No Love. I'm gonna say You Gets No Love.
Okay.
But I'm sure I would think of one that I feel a little stronger about when I leave here.
When we get to it. All right, another question. I like the questions. Is it good? How you say that?
Azaz
number 4.
04.
Favorite memory of Big. What do you think Big would say about Stevie? Jokes.
Well, one of my favorite memories of Big, he used to, when we moved into our apartment in Brooklyn, which I finally got him to move out of Miss Wallace's house, me and my manager, Cheryl, we had went to go get our first colonics, right?
Oh my God.
So, right?
Colonics.
And I'm such like Lucy. They call me Lucy. I went and bought from the place the home colonic board, right?
Oh my God.
So there was this huge box that it used to be in, and it's a little bit bigger than the box you use when you're moving clothes, whatever that's called. And Big used to put China in the box and just bang on it. Like she would cry, then she would laugh and say, "Do it again." And you know what I mean? That was like really funny to me. Like she loves for him to torture her because she's crying, but she's laughing at the same time. You know, he was just really silly like that. He was so funny. That's one of my favorite ones. As far as Stevie, what would Big say? I mean, if Big was alive, so many things would be different about my life. I don't know if I would have, you know, I may or may not have gotten remarried. He and I probably would have tried to be back together a couple of times if we didn't end up, you know, together.
You might have had more kids.
I know we would still be the best of friends if we were not together.
Right.
So hypothetically thinking, if he were and we were not together, you know, if I don't know if I would have ever decided to make that decision if he was alive, to be quite honest. It was already difficult for me to make that decision anyway, to be quite honest.
There it is. You can't stump Faith. You can't stump her. I know that's what y'all's trying to do. All right, what we got? Instagram, Batty Bree, #1. Will you do another collaboration album with Big after The King and I comes out?
I'm not so sure because I don't even know.
There's enough material?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there is. There's stuff that I didn't use for the album that I do have, and there's stuff that we know I don't have right now that probably could be used. But I don't know. I really don't know. It could be done. I do know we have plans on releasing another, you know, a longer version with a few more songs on it.
I got a question. You tell me what are your thoughts on this? Okay, if the stuff was never planned on coming out for whatever reason, right? Sample issues, clearances, maybe Big didn't like it, maybe whatever. What steps do you take mentally as someone who's a part of his estate to say, should we put this out? Should we not put this out? Do you think Big is cool with this, or do you just take over that control now because he's not here? Like, how does that work?
With regard to me,
just
you mean,
like
with other people using
No,
this?
maybe other stuff that just maybe never came out, you know, and maybe, you know, wasn't ever intended to come out.
I'm not sure I really understand the question.
It's like, imagine, okay, let's say I made a mixtape at home and I hated the mixtape. Just me. Oh, I can't stand that mixtape. I'm never going to put it out. But then I pass. And then my wife says, oh, I'm going to put the mixtape out. Is that something, you know, Big ever expressed to you? Like, oh, I don't like these verses, or maybe these verses aren't as good as the verses that I put out? Or, like, who determines that with the estate?
This is probably the first time we've even approached that in any kind of way. I mean, Puff has, you know, put out stuff of his quite a bit. I mean, and I think, I mean, and I could be wrong, but we are somewhat involved, but it's more with the use of his likeness and image and stuff. I mean, if you own the masters, then you technically can do what you want to do with the music part of it.
Oh, that's right.
As far as
legally,
you know what I mean?
That's right, legally.
So, you know, this is the first time we approached that, but as God would have it, it's me. And as God would have it, I am one of the people who does have every right to do it. So, cool. You know, it worked out.
All right, good.
Look at God.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Did Biggie ever go to church?
You know what's so funny? Because you know I was a church girl.
Oh, that's right.
So I would be, you know, like, yo, when you going to come to church with me? He'd be like, yo, if I walk into church, a brick going to fall out and pop. And I'm thinking, like, when I really he would say some dumb stuff like that. Like, Big, really, you ain't like you know, you ain't like a bad demon person out here. Yo, he's so extra. But then when you find out he grew up in a school, his mom is such a devout witness. Right. Like, kid, you was in witness for me and over here doing scriptures. Stop playing.
Right, stop playing.
Like, you know what I mean?
That serious.
I guess, in other words, he didn't want to go to church with me. You know, like.
That's funny. Oh, my God. All right, let's go to another question. I like this. Vic Webb, 2 questions. 1, if you could remix any Big song, which one would it be? And can you play the Big Papa remix?
That sounds like that's for you.
Oh, for me? If you could remix any Big song, which one would it be? I like that. I like the diamonds on my back, chromed out top. If I could do that one over.
Which one is that?
The one he had did it for Busta Rhymes. I think him and Busta did it. It's on the remix album. I forgot the name of it.
Okay.
I would like to probably remix that one. And then what else you said? Go back to the question.
Oh, can you play
the Big Papa remix? Okay.
It's okay.
Maybe y'all could do that. No, play it. I don't got no turntables right here. But One more question? All right, come on. One more question. Elmer, Tyler Miller, he's official. Hi, Faith. That's for you. What do you think Biggie would be doing if he was still here?
Hi, Elmer. I think we kind of just talked about that, but you know, he would probably just be for a lot further in his thinking on the creative side, on the business side. I mean, just looking at how impactful and dope he was and still is with the little bit of work and time he had to share with us. Like, you know, can you only imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, I really.
I'm gonna share a secret with you guys. I was talking to one of the big programmers in the back, and he said to me that to this day, Biggie and Pac, we'll pick both of them up. To this day, their music still resonates and registers as like one of the biggest records on the radio station.
Wow.
To this day.
Amazing.
You know, you're talking about 25 years plus since their music's been out. And we ask ourselves, you know, and there's no disrespect to nobody, you know, will Drake be iconic like that? Will whoever, you know, because sometimes, you know, you get these artists, they're around for 2-3 years and then they gone. You know, and it's amazing that our boy is still rocking 20 plus years later.
Still rocking.
Hard.
Very much. He could still go toe to toe with anything that somebody is saying this is now.
I love that. That means a lot. Yeah. No more questions? We done?
Hey.
Hi, TT Torres. TT, you got a question for Faye?
I forgot she was up here. I keep forgetting. I'm so used to her being down south.
Yeah. She's repping New York heavy. She's back.
Yeah, she's been here for a couple of years.
Yeah, so we B.I.G 20 years. Big Spanish DJ Enuff. Come in here, TT. Come on,
TT.
man. What's up, TT
Give me a
Torres?
microphone.
Yeah, why not, baby?
Good to see you.
I got can we share this story?
You can share it.
So Faith was doing a concert down south.
Okay.
At the radio station I used to work at.
Uh-huh.
And one of her family members, because they all say me and Faith look alike. So one of her family members was like looking for her, and they're like, "No, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. You're right here." And the whole time it was me. It wasn't Faith.
That's funny. That's funny.
They were trying to find
her, and they thought it was me. But a lot of people always say that like she's like my my sister, because we like my celebrity look-alike. You know how people be like, "Who do you look like?" And Faith was always mine.
I love that. I always thought Faith was Puerto Rican anyway.
My Spanish teacher in high school did too.
But I don't think I ever told you this. So I was auditioning for the Notorious movie.
You told me you auditioned.
I told you that, right? So I'm walking down New York City. I had the wig on. I had everything. Like, I studied.
I didn't know that.
Oh my God. I studied Faith to the T. Like, down to everything she wore. I had the way I was walking. And people were stopping me in New York thinking I was her.
That's crazy.
And they were like, Faith. And I was just in character, like.
That's crazy.
Hi. Sign Faith autograph. I was trying to stay in character. So I practiced the song like crazy, go to the audition, and they changed the song on me, and I forgot all the words to the song. But I made it to the final round. I got cut at the end, but I made it to the final.
It's all good.
They switched my song up. I'm like, I studied the song. I studied the imaging of how she moved, everything. Got nixed at the end.
Oh, man.
But you did sign some autographs.
I did. and we became really good friends after that.
Yeah, she's always been super cool and so sweet to me,
it's
man.
all good. Yeah, so we having fun up here, man. 20 years, man. TT, I was just telling Faye how, like, you know, Big's record still resonates right now. Like, I was talking to Rick Cummins and P.O., you know, our big bosses in the back, and they were saying, like, their records really move the needle still to this day.
Yeah.
Like crazy, like big.
And I feel like the culture is coming back to where bars are starting to matter again.
Right.
And just on my Instagram, I put your favorite Biggie bars, and people just have like so many.
Everybody says different things, right?
Different things. Yeah. So it's really good to see.
What I miss about Big is also, you know, Big was a great storyteller. And I love hearing Warning. I love hearing I Got a Story to Tell. Like, I love that part of him. You know, that
Who Shot Ya?
Yeah.
That we
she
always
loves
debate.
Who Shot Ya. We debate because, you know, and I don't know if Faye knows or not, but we debate because I always tell her, I said, look, when they was battling and records was out, from what I remember, Big never made a diss record. You know, he made little innuendos and little things here and there, but I've never heard this record. But I think the people think that
Who Shot Ya was about,
is about, and it's
not. It was recorded way
was
before that.
Way before.
But like a Mary joint.
You see?
But
Look.
Totally.
Here,
You see?
This is where me and him debate at. Yes, granted, it was made before Pac got shot. But he chose to drop it in Atlanta at the same Big the story.
Yeah, but that was a performance. That was a performance.
The performance.
A performance, right?
So
At a show?
At a show. So Enuff tells the story.
Because you know what? Hold on. Big never performed Who Shot Ya while he was going through it with Pac. He didn't want to. He felt uncomfortable. You know, they was going through it. You know, so I felt like there was one time when we were performing in Atlanta, and I think Pac was there too, and I think Biggie was just tired and he didn't know how to respond anymore. He didn't know how to, he was frustrated. So I think he gave a little dialogue before the performance. He expressed himself and he was like, y'all think this, whatever. And I think he just said in his mind, I don't care no more. So then he performed for the first time Who Shot Ya on the road. He never ever did that before. So it was for us, you know, being on the road, it was almost like about time. You know, like just get it off your chest. So now people, because of that, I think took it like it was personal, but it wasn't. It was really somebody else that he made that record to.
Yeah. But you know,
TT still wants to go
She's
with it.
yeah,
It's like,
whatever.
nah, man.
but it's
We
a
know
great
what it was.
record though, and I always appreciate a good rap battle. I mean, this one ended tragically, but when it comes to bars, if we keep it bar for bar, you got to appreciate the greats.
That's true.
Because not a lot of artists are going to have 20 years people still playing their records on the radio. That's unheard
That's
of.
true.
Like
Absolutely.
we all been
It
in
is.
this business for a really long
It is.
time.
Another one? Question?
Yes, I'm sorry. Hey, what's going on, Faith? People at YouTube right now sending in questions, Eve.
Nice.
What's up, you
So,
too?
Nice.
so I'm gonna read it to you, Faith, and
Okay.
I guess you just answer it, okay? At Jimmy Dub wants to know, do you think Big and Pac would have eventually worked it all out? God bless.
If it was up to Big, absolutely.
I think it was. I know specifically some people that were telling us that Pac also was on the verge of just saying, you know what, I want to fix this and stop with the nonsense. So I think if it was up to them, I think they really both had a lot of respect for each other. It's just unfortunate that whatever happened, but they definitely would have probably got back together and did some
I
stuff.
agree.
Jen Lil Bit One wants to know. I'm sorry, Titi, got you holding my mic like you are mic holder. How was Big as a father, as a dad?
Well, the time that I did get to see Big around Tiana, even when he wasn't, he definitely doted on her, talked about her all the time. And although CJ, you know, he didn't get to spend a lot of time with him, but he was very excited about it. He was looking forward. He planned, he ultimately, because we weren't together, he still planned that every Friday I'm going to come and stay all day at the crib. You're going to cook. And he just would sit there and stare at CJ. Hold on. I don't know if he changed the diaper or not, but you know, the rest of the time he was just staring at CJ. You know.
I have a question. What was Big's favorite dish? Like, what did you love to cook him?
He liked for me to cook him fried fish,
Wow.
pork chops, or my lasagna.
Wow. Can you?
I want some lasagna.
I know. Next time you come to New York, can we get that?
But Miss Wallace used to send him them bomb whole fish, them Jamaican style, and I didn't understand back then how good it was. I just really started eating whole fish in the last 10 years. I be mad now, like
Recipe
Mima. I be
shit, right
asking her,
there.
Mima, can you make me a whole fish?
We got a few more, okay?
Go for it.
At Biggs wants to know, for both of you guys, what's your most special moment with him? Off top.
Wow. One of my most special moments with him that I remember, I would probably have to say the day we actually went and got married.
I mean, that is a big moment, though. Yeah. And was it like the way the movie portrays it, like you literally just met, y'all like head over heels over each other, and then boom, like shortly after marriage?
Yeah, it was a short period of time. We were just talking about that. It was like a little under 2 months from when we met.
Love at first sight.
Big Fizzy
Well,
from
I
the
wouldn't
bricks.
say, you know, we just,
That's
it
what
was
it felt like.
semi-sorta, yeah.
vibe.
You know, love at first vibe.
I like that right
Keep it hip
there.
hop. Blaze says you still look good.
Thank you.
What do you mean, still look good? What I mean, yeah, of course you look
We
good.
trying to shade Faith. DJ on Q said, is there still unreleased Biggie music?
Unreleased as in stuff that nobody has heard. Well, when I first met Big, I was saying earlier, I used to take him to mad little random spots in Brooklyn, because he ain't drive. I had a V, so I wait in the car, and I know he went in there, dropped a verse, and got a bag real quick.
Right?
So I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure there is. If that wasn't
Right.
some of the stuff that was released, but I don't think so. I would know if it.
Somebody told me on the gram, Busta Rhymes.
He just was saying something like that.
Busta
There's a
has
joint.
a lot of joints of Big that hasn't been released.
Yeah.
Busta,
Someone mentioned that to me
we
earlier.
need to take him hostage and break into that studio.
Last one to you, Faith. Delisa Ray wants to know, have you ever thought about doing your own reality show, something based around you recording a new album, your life, and everything?
I
like that question. I like that question.
We actually documented some of the making of the album within the documentary that we're doing with A&E.
Okay.
But it's not. That's not the. It doesn't just follow the complete production of it. But there's a little bit of that in there. I have thought about it, but I would never do something. My whole thing with reality TV, I'm funny with people in my house, so I would never bring cameras in my house. I just don't like to interrupt the regular flow of my household. Like, I'm just funny like that. So I would love to do something that's in the space of like the funny me that people don't know until they get to be around me. Just my little crazy crew and my grind. And, I think that stuff can be still good TV. But most of the time, people kind of want to make it more of a dramatic thing. Like if you pitch something like that, if you aren't somebody that has sort of a name already, they kind of like, okay, so who are you dating and what are you da-da-da? And like, well, nobody.
We're good. I mean, if you want some more, I can shoot more.
No, we're good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Shout out to everybody who's been, who's logged on and watching and sending the questions and stuff.
This is big. Thanks for doing this for us too. How you feeling?
Thanks for
Feeling good?
I'm better. I had a little headache earlier, but I'm good now.
Good.
And you made me shed some tears for like one of the very few times.
I'm sorry, man. It's just, it's a good day for us. But then it's like a bittersweet day for us. That's all it is. But it's good. I see some old friends that I haven't seen in a long time, and it feels good because sometimes, unfortunately, we get to share these moments by ourselves, and it's good to have others around. So that's just for me.
It feels good. Like I said, I don't do anything most of the time on March 9th.
Right.
So, I actually do feel good that I'm here now. This is only the second time I've been, I think, in New York.
Right.
Over the years since he passed on the day of his passing. So, and it's a whole different thing here.
Right.
It's a whole different vibe. It's really
it's a holiday for me.
You know what I mean? So that in that I can feel, a little bit more, joyous. That just seeing he just was so dope and still remains to be and impact people that knew him personally and not. So
when you hear the Missing You record, do you tear up or is it just like a song to you? Like,
I don't really.
When I saw Puff dancing. And then remember the Sting, he came out with Sting. I thought that was one of the most beautiful.
When we did it on the awards.
Yes, I thought that was really that was touching for me because I'd be like, wow, I thought that was really nice.
I think maybe because I've heard the song so much, I don't feel so emotional about it as I did when we record. But you know what? And the truth of the matter is that the song was originally going to be based on the OJ song "Miss You," and that that "Miss You," and it's mad slow. So we were in the studio the first day listening to that, and everybody couldn't do anything but cry.
Wow.
So when we came back, that was actually a refreshing, more like celebratory sounding track in itself. So the approach was totally different. So I think that's always kind of been how I felt about that song anyway.
And how'd you find out Sting was gonna be a part of it? You
knew part of the performance?
Yeah, part of the performance.
I guess Puff told me because Puff had to curse me out to make me do that performance.
You wasn't gonna do it.
I didn't want to do anything.
You didn't want to do nothing.
I didn't want to do
you weren't in the space. It's too much.
It was. It was a stretch that he even got me to record the song. But when he mentioned, wanting to give, some of the proceeds to, some of the money to CJ and Tiana, that was really what made me do it.
Okay.
But I didn't want to do anything.
I got you. I know it's tough, man. So.
And he really did. He's like, yeah, you can do something. You ain't gonna do my thing.
He was adamant about
Pretty
that.
much.
He was adamant
I
about
actually
that.
cried because I was pissed because I really felt like I had to do it. You know what I mean? So, I didn't want to, but I had to.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Biggie and Puff together? Is there like a magical moment that I know there were, I don't know, salt and pepper, or there was there were gold and glitter, but there had to be something special about them that.
I really actually love the respect that Puff had for Big. Really, quiet as kept. I mean, and on the other side, I love the fact that Big knew Puff was a visionary as well. So it was like, I think they both, I don't know whether it was expressed among them, which it may or may not have been, but kind of knew what the other's thing was about them. Because, I mean, I'm sure you witnessed it. I've actually seen Big, cuss them out, do things that nobody else would do.
They used to fight too.
Right, things like that.
So,
but it was just like that mutual, I guess I got your back. We kind of started this together in a way type of thing, That was something that I always enjoyed, about them.
Okay. Good. Is there anything you want to say to the people?
I mean, just once again, thanks to everybody who has continued to support Big, and hold his memory, his legacy, his music down. To all my faithfuls who continue to support me. And I mean, I'm looking forward to people hearing this project because I don't think I did a bad job,
No, I don't think you did at all. You go on the road soon?
I am. I'm
that out?
putting together some things, yeah.
Okay, good. Maybe some friends, maybe some whatever.
Yeah, hopefully so. I got some thoughts, maybe
Okay.
some ones and twos.
All right. If you need me for something, let me know. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. You know what I mean? I can get the rust off of these. That it? We done? What?
Yeah, I have a question. Do you mind if I ask?
No, come on. Come over here, man.
Okay.
Ask the question.
I just want to know, there's this rumor about the Biggie hologram going around. Do you know anything about that? Is it fact? Is it
hold
really
up, man.
going down?
Chill out, man.
Why?
Nah, man.
Why not?
Don't talk about that.
Why?
Because let people be in suspense.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. That means it's happening.
Maybe not.
I hope so. Brooklyn would love it.
That's true.
I mean, but even if you do something like that, it's just important for it to be used in the right way.
Right.
And that you just got
Of
to put
course.
thought into how you use it,
Of
when you
course.
use it,
Of course.
Maybe people want it more than they think. I mean, not want it, but want to see. They might think they want to see it all the time. And if they see it, they might say it's corny or cheesy to see it
Yeah.
all the time. So from our perspective, we still would have to be
Figure it
smart
out.
about, how to use it, how to, first debut it to everybody in the
That's
most
true.
tasteful and sensible way.
That's true. All right, cool. What's the name of the documentary again?
You know what? The
You didn't
sad
name
thing
it
is
yet?
they done changed the name. It was Big Papa. It was the notorious Big Papa. We don't have a final date. We don't have a final
Okay,
title.
so it's in the works.
It's in the works, but it's coming in the next few months for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got to do some more stuff together.
Absolutely.
And we got to stay in contact.
Yes.
And I got a feeling I'll be seeing you soon.
You will.
Okay.
Aha.
All right. Hot 97, thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.
Faithfuls, and shout out to the Junior Mafia.
Yeah,
Welcome home,
Mafia.
C Gutter.
Shout out to all my family in Jersey. Have
you gone to visit them?
Not yet. I flew
So
from
let's go. What we doing?
I flew from LA to
we going
Boston.
To Jersey? We going to Jersey?
Well, I got to still do some other runs tonight.
Okay, I
I'm
got you. I
still
got
working. So just so they know, that's why I haven't made it over there, because I
Oh.
went from Boston to
Sorry,
Providence
family.
to
Sorry, family.
Connecticut to the city. I've been doing all day promo
And
every
she not
day.
done.
So
We got to do BLS
I'm not
still.
done.
We got to do a lot of other things because I got another job. I got to do BLS too.
I got a few jobs.
That's why I like you.
That's why we get along.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. All right, we out of here. Thank you, Faye.
Thank you. Love
Give
you.
me a hug.